Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Steve Breach. Tonight, I killed some time talking to my buddies Luke and Zach, and I watched a old Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. This is the Elimination Chamber 2010. I checked this out while I was the only one watching this show, and they were watching something else. But this, honestly, if you go back and remember, um, was the new concept of naming pay-per-views after certain big matches. Elimination Chamber, Hell in the Cell um, were born in this year. This is a really, really, really good show. Um, WrestleMania 26 always going to be a real big special show. My first WrestleMania that I ever went to, um, and basically it's all set up in this one thing right here in this one 3 hour show. Really, really good. Both chamber matches are the Raw one's good, but the SmackDown one honestly is one of my favorites out of all the Elimination Chambers they've ever done. Maybe not the first one because that special sort of feeling that comes along with. They didn't even really tell us what the Elimination Chamber was going to be before that first one, so you went into it not really knowing what to expect, and it still has a lot of that feeling when I watch it and I remember what was going on back then for you. But the pay-per-view kicks off with the Raw Elimination Chamber match. This was had Randy Orton, Ted DiBiase, Kofi Kingston, Sheamus, Triple H, and John Cena. Now, Sheamus comes into this as the champion off his win over John Cena at TLC the December before this one. Um, Basically, everybody wants to win this because it is their last chance to win the title before going into WrestleMania, being the one spot to be able to win it. Now, almost everybody has a feud that comes out of this for WrestleMania 26. Randy Orton and Ted DiBiase being the breakup of Legacy, which leads to the triple threat match. Kofi Kingston, honestly, doesn't have anything to do with this. I can't even remember what he did. He was in the Money in the Bank match at WrestleMania 26, but this is sort of when he was still being pushed as one of the main competitors. Uh, like like now Kofi is sort of like a he's just there, but he's a little bit better than just being there. He's a guy that is a tag guy, United States Championship guy or an Intercontinental guy, but he's not like one of those mid carders that gets to touch the main events a lot anymore. I would say uh, Sheamus was involved with something with Triple H because Triple H was the first guy to be released from the Chamber Pod, and he just got this huge smile on his face when he got put in there that he was going to kick the shit out of Sheamus. I honestly don't even remember what kicked off their feud that led to WrestleMania 26 or what they were fighting about. I remember the promo that Triple H gave saying he understood why Sheamus was coming after him because much like Sheamus, there was one time when he was a rookie going into his first WrestleMania that he was going to fight the Ultimate Warrior, and the Ultimate Warrior squashed him, and he sort of related a lot out of that. Um, go through the whole match, and basically it came down to John Cena and Triple H, where Triple H tapped out to the STF to John Cena. John Cena got to hold up the title, and he got to be in all of his glory that he is going to WrestleMania as the champion, only to be screwed over by Vince McMahon, who owed a favor to Batista. If you go back to the Monday Night Raws, Batista came out and kicked the shit out of Bret Hart for Vince McMahon, leading into their feud, their match. So Batista came down, got a title shot after John Cena had already competed in the Elimination Chamber match, which went for 30 minutes. That Cena had been in there getting his ass kicked. And then much like the first Elimination Chamber, or well, the first Elimination Chamber that John Cena had won, Edge cashed in on him. The same thing happened to John Cena this time, where he held the title, and much like that, about 30 seconds later, he lost the title to Batista. Um, Earth-shattering. Cena looked very defeated after it, which would go on to their WrestleMania 26 main event match That would draw from there. But very, very good stuff. From there, we go to a very long, drawn-out intro from Drew McIntyre against Kane. That match is no good, and it seems like it just goes forever. Then we are brought out Gail Kim and Maurice, which we are told is a Divas Championship match for the finals of a tournament that I guess happened that I have no memory of ever being there, because I remember WWE never really using Gail Kim all that much. Only for Vicky Guerrero to come out, come say something about the girls on SmackDown deserved a shot at the Divas title and that they're better than them. They turned this into a tag match. I didn't know the whole time that the Divas Championship was on the line during this, or what the hell was going on. Only for the girls to win from SmackDown, Lay Cool, and basically them saying that Maurice and Gail Kim will fight another day. I don't know why this wasn't settled on the pay-per-view or why they put Lay Cool on there, but I don't know, and it had me guessing the whole time. From there, we go to a backstage segment between The Miz and MVP. MVP says that he pinned The Miz in a tag match on Raw, so that means that he should get a United States title shot. I don't know why they don't think that the tag title should be on the line and they deserve a tag match, but for some reason Mark Henry is not mad at all that MVP is, turning their win into his win. But anyways, The Miz comes out and he defeats MVP in a very, very good mid-card match. I had honestly forgot that all the gold The Miz had at this time. He had both tag titles from the Unified tag titles. He had the SmackDown one and he had the Raw one, as well as being the United States champion at the time. And he was putting over the fact that NXT was starting soon. I believe it was starting that week of it. I think that they were saying that the ECW show that aired that week was the final show, and then come Tuesday they were saying that the guys like Daniel Bryan and Wade Barrett were going to be there. They even had William Regal come out and give a promo stating how good NXT was going to be and how great he was, which brought Edge out, who had won the Royal Rumble the pay-per-view before, come out and kick the shit out of William Regal. From there, we go to the Elimination Chamber for the SmackDown title. This is housed by R-Truth, CM Punk, Mysterio, Undertaker, and Chris Jericho. Um, this is a really, really good chamber match. It has a whole lot of storylines built up into it. Basically, R-Truth comes down there as the guy you think he's going to be. CM Punk is in there with him. Punk destroys Punk destroys R-Truth, and much like he did in the Rumble this year, he takes his time inside the chamber with nobody else in it to deliver a promo on everybody in the chamber. He says, first I'm going to make you tap out. He's talking to Undertaker. Then he's going to beat the crap out of Mysterio. He's just going from chamber pod to chamber pod, just telling everybody this is how it's going to be. Now, before this match even takes place, during the opening intros, there's a pyro malfunction, I guess you can say, and Undertaker catches on fire. Now, this isn't shown on the DVD, but if you look for it on YouTube, you are able to find it. It was a big deal when it happened. But basically, he rips his coat off. He taps himself off where all the fire comes off, and he goes into the ring, and he has third-degree burns. When you finally get to see him inside the ring, you can see the spots where his flesh was actually on fire. It's crazy. During the match, there's the final three of Undertaker, John Morrison, and Chris Jericho, where they basically Chris Jericho runs off and hides in one of the chamber pods for John Morrison to be destroyed by the Undertaker, for basically the Undertaker to turn around and go over to Jericho in the chamber pod and try to break him out. Jericho's much like a guy in a horror film, hiding from the demon coming to get him, saying, no, go away. Like the Undertaker's going to pack up his bags and leave the match. This is pretty cool stuff. Basically, Jericho and Undertaker battle back and forth. Much like I was saying, all of the WrestleMania storylines that were built in the months beforehand, from the Slammies on, Shawn Michaels has been begging Undertaker for one more match. They had a match at WrestleMania 25, which a lot of people consider one of the greatest wrestling matches by both of these guys. Some people out there even think it's one of the greatest matches that a lot of people have ever seen. Um, Michaels was really set on that he made one mistake during this match, and if he hadn't made this mistake, he would have been the guy that beat the streak of the Undertaker, and he wanted another shot. Undertaker kept on saying, "No, no, I'm not going to give it to you." Never really looking at as Michaels as a guy that really could beat him, and Undertaker was scared of him. Undertaker was just sort of looking for the next best thing, and he didn't want to fight the same guy two years in a row. But Michaels was at the point that he was basically at the point that he was about to snap, because like he wanted to win the Rumble, because at that time Undertaker was the champion, so he knew that if he won the Rumble, he could say he's gonna fight Undertaker. He even dumped Triple H, his best friend of years, out of the Rumble because he wanted to make sure that he was in the spot to win it. When you go back and watch the Rumble from that year, it is really, really good because Batista is the guy that bumps Shawn out, and Shawn goes crazy, and he turns on everybody, even the referees that are inside the match. Now, Undertaker, this guy really gives everything. Like I said earlier in the match, he knows that he has to be in the end of this match because that's the way the match is planned out. So even after he's been caught on fire, he sticks around in there, does all the physical things that he would normally do, waiting basically till the end of the match to get any medical attention that his skin would need from being on fire. Yes, I like to get the point on that he was on fire before this match happened. Basically, Shawn hid underneath the ring for the whole match, and it's really, really cool because we've never really seen a run-in during the Chamber before. We've seen like during the first match, we've had somebody run down and add a weapon. Cody Rhodes came down and handed Ted DiBiase a lead pipe, which he accidentally knocked out Randy Orton with, and then he knocked out John Cena with. Um, but we've never seen anybody actually include themselves into the chamber before. But Shawn lifts up the grate, comes up, super kicks um, the Undertaker, and what the coolest thing is that Jericho looks up at Triple H. I'm sorry, Jericho looks up at Shawn, and Shawn never moves. Like he just looks over Undertaker like he's sorry he had to do this because the Undertaker loses his championship. But he knows this is the one thing that's going to push Undertaker to the point that he knows he has to fight Shawn. And Jericho even sort of thanks Shawn after winning the title. He would go on to face Edge, who won the Royal Rumble, and then we would get that rematch of Shawn versus Undertaker, which would turn into the career versus streak. But this is a highly recommended DVD, not that expensive when you're looking on the used market, and I highly would recommend it. Elimination Chamber 2010. Thanks, guys.